What's poppin', y'all? It's the Sound Alchemist, and I'm here with
Gersh1.
And we're back at it again with the White Vans in another episode of For the Greater WAAAGH.
This is a video series where we answer the questions left by you, the viewer. If you have a question for us, comment down below, put a question in front of your question, because we get to those questions first. That is what Drew Cipher did. He asks, a fair number of characters seem to have two ports or connections on their foreheads. Is there anything in the lore that explains them? I used to think they were neural inputs for a helmet, but a lot of the various Space Marines books demonstrates interactions with the suit using a kind of blink to click using user interface. So those things that you see on like the foreheads of Space Marines are called service studs. Yeah, service studs, and they're just like honor badges. They're supposed to represent 10, 50, and 100 years of service. If you see a Space Marine with that, usually they're special characters that don't have their helmets on to show that they're special. It shows...
I feel like it's counterintuitive. It's like, hey, you've survived for 50 years. Take your helmet off.
Yeah, take your helmet off.
Let them know you're alive.
But yeah, that's what it is. Some of them some of them I do see as like inputs to their little, what is it called? Their little goggle thing.
Like the visors and stuff.
Yeah, like DBZ. You'll see it mostly in what are they called? Demolishers. What are the heavy weapon unit? What is that called?
Like the ones that the fire heavy weapons.
Yeah. It's not. It starts with a D. Devastators.
Devastators.
So
yes.
The Devastator squads will have like a special one that like puts like that. But the one that's on the forehead up here, those are just service studs. Good question though. Yeah.
I just imagine like Dante, his whole head is just one big stud.
In old school 40K, if you look at those pieces of artwork, they actually had some Space Marines with lines like that. Again, they were just to note that these guys have been in service for however many years, and it was like a thing of honor. I don't think that's the thing anymore. Next question.
This one is by Darth Revan. What was the inspiration behind your guys' name? Sound Alchemist and Gersh. Gersh, one?
G-U-R-S-H.
There you go. I think you got it right the second time. Yep.
The inspiration to the name Gersh was gushers, ushers.
No, Gusher and Usher.
Oh, Gusher and Usher, yeah.
But like squished down.
At first it was Gersher, and then it was Gershwin, and then it just became Gersh. And then the one is because I am number one.
Meaning there's more after.
Yes. And then your Sound Alchemist?
It was Benjamin. If you remember those videos from like way back when.
Oh, yeah.
But I figured that's too plain. And I think I was watching like Full Metal Alchemist at the time. And I was like really into it. So I'm like, I don't know why sound. But yeah.
Next question comes from Sherry's. She or he asks, are blinks somehow related to Tyranids? Nope.
Yeah, no.
Not one bit. I see why you would make the connection, because it's like the shadow of the war, but then the blinks don't have psychic
yeah, they like nullify psychic stuff.
Yeah, but no, they're not.
Pineapple. Which faction or chapter has the best scouts? My guess would be the Wolf Scouts and the Raven Guard. Or maybe even the Eldar.
On tabletop... Oh, that's a tough one. Hold on.
Orcs? Because you got the, what are they called?
Oh, you could do other races too? I thought just Imperial.
Well, he just said, he said in between factions and chapters.
Oh, okay. Well, then Scouts, I would say... Because you have the Commandos for the Orcs.
And they got purple, which makes them even more sneaky.
Yeah, make them sneakier. I think an Imperial Assassin would probably be the best scout on the table.
Hands down, yeah. I didn't even think about that, but yeah.
Even in the lore. Like, those guys have a huge amount of, like, just craziness at their disposal. They can change their faces to look like orcs. They don't need to eat or sleep.
They can stay in a fixed position for days.
Sometimes years.
Yeah, which is crazy. Like, I'm not gonna move for 12 years until this guy that I'm supposed to kill lands in this exact spot at this exact time. Like, all right, you got patience.
You do you. Yeah. But next question. Next one comes from Aaron Daniel. Will you guys be covering the life of Garvio Loken? He's my favorite character.
Loken's a G. Yeah, we need to cover him. And also, what's the other guy? Grimaldus and like Argel's Hall and all those guys. Because they all play key points in the Horus heresy timeline.
Yeah. We need to talk more about the Horus heresy in general.
The Horus?
Horus heresies. Next question.
This one is by Brian Brown. If you had to pick a chapter to lead as chapter master, which chapter would you pick and why? It does not have to be a loyalist chapter. And also, thank you for all the entertaining lore videos. I've been a fan for the past couple of years. Really love 40k, even though I don't play the game.
Love to hear that. Well, you need to play the game, but love to hear that. He said no loyalists, so I'm going with the Alpha Legion. I think the Alpha Legion has a bunch of secrets, and I like secrets.
Mm-hmm. It'd be a toss-up between the Blood Angels and the Thousand Suns. But I'm going to say Thousand Suns because psychic.
Magic.
Magnus.
Next question comes from Sheldon Goodfellow. Does it really matter who someone is allied to or not allied to when they eventually die? Doesn't every soul end up in the warp and ultimately eaten by some demon or another?
No. Oh, no, not if you were praying to the Emperor and stuff, because he protects you.
Yeah, if you pray to the Emperor, he makes you a part of the Army of the Light, which might just mean he consumes you and you become part of the God Emperor, because there actually might be a god manifesting in the warp that is the representation of the Emperor and his like honor. No, not honor. What does he represent?
Order.
Order. There you go.
Which, based on the lore of 40k, that definitely should be happening, because if emotions fuel the chaos gods, order and emotion towards prayer to the Emperor should make him a god.
Yes.
Juan G. Where do souls come from? Well, we know where P comes from.
Yeah, it's stored in the balls. So souls are stored in...
The fallopian tubes?
Probably the fallopian tubes, yeah.
You need like a... What are those things called? A vuvuzela? You gotta like blow it and then the soul comes out.
Ooh, yeah. Next question comes from the Fool06. Oh, by the way, there is no answer to that last question, which is why we gave you a bullshit answer.
There's no such thing as a soul.
Yeah. Don't kid yourself.
There are souls. You find them inside your shoe.
There you go. Mm-hmm. But there's nothing in the lore that states the souls come from here. Next question comes from the Fool06. Why aren't there any Brothers of Silence? Kind of like Sisters of Silence? Because of the way that the organization was built. The Sisters of Silence were actually created by... Nope, that's the Sisters of Battle. Fuck.
The Sisters of Silence were like... they were fighting alongside like the Custodes. They're like all bald except like the ponytail.
But what was their thing? I can't remember their lore.
Weren't they like blanks? They're blanks. They're blanks.
Oh, they're blanks.
They're all blanks, yes.
So that's why.
Mm-hmm. They're the elite version of blanks, I guess.
I'm going to do a 40 facts on the Sisters of Silence, and then I'll give you a better answer in the future.
You have some Sisters of Silence, right?
Yeah, but I can't remember what I said. Next one.
Jacob Thompson. What chaos god would the feeling of hunger empower?
I think it's a little bit of Nurgle and a little bit of Slaanesh.
That's what I was thinking. I'm trying to figure out which one more, though. I guess if you're just gluttonous and you're just eating even after you feel full.
No, I think hunger, though. Like, hunger would be like wanting.
The urge to get some.
But then again, like, yeah, the urge to get some. But then you don't actually ever reach that, like, satisfaction. So maybe it wouldn't be Slaanesh. Because if hunger is, like, wanting, the only representation of wanting is Nurgle, because, like, you want to relieve yourself of the pain, and Nurgle gives you that.
Unless you're thinking about, like, wanting to have more knowledge, wanting to be the best fighter.
Then it would be
wanting perfection.
Yeah. Or then it would be Slanesh.
Technically, wanting can fall into all four of them.
Oh, yeah.
You want to provide blood for the blood god, skulls for the skull throne. You want to kill that person. You want revenge.
That's a good question.
That's
then.
all corn.
What would it represent then? What would hunger? What god would it be?
Well, hunger is a primal urge to stay alive. Because you can't stay alive if you don't eat.
That's true.
I think it kind of embodies all four of them. Well, except Zeech. I feel like you're wanting something. So if you're thinking about like cavemen, you'd have to hunt to eat. Like, oh, I want to eat. Look at that bunny. I need to kill it. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
You would feel like something like that should have an easy answer, but the more you think about it, the deeper the hole gets.
Yeah. So Slanesh, because we said hole.
There you go.
And she is she who thirsts.
Or is it a he who thirsts? It could be both. It's both.
Francisco Aguilar, what happens after the fight between the Space Wolves and the Inquisition? The Inquisitor. Check out our 40 facts on Space Wolves versus the Inquisition if you don't know the story. Basically, at the end, they left Fenris, the Inquisitor was dead, and the Imperium was like, basically, they showed them who's boss. Or not who's boss, but like, they could defend themselves.
They flex their military might.
The cool thing about the Inquisition, though, is that it's not, like, it's a structure with a hierarchy, but each individual within that hierarchy kind of is his own boss. Kind of like the Space Marines. So even though there is animosity between the Space Wolves and the Inquisition, this still doesn't mean that the Space Wolves won't work with some Inquisitors.
Right.
Because they know that the Inquisition is a big, vast expanse, and getting mad at one Inquisitor because of what another Inquisitor did is like getting mad at a Space Marine chapter because a traitor Space Marine chapter did what they did. Like, it doesn't...
Right. It's like getting mad at an employee at Walmart because your light bulbs were broken. Like,
why?
Yeah.
It's bad enough that they work at Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
Next question. I've noticed, though, that everybody who works at Walmart stays at Walmart. So Walmart must have, like, really good something or another.
Yeah.
Next question comes from Juan G. Where do souls come from? Oh, wait, we already said that.
Walmart. Callahan 5225. What's your favorite type of transport for Space Marines? On land and in air. On land, it definitely has to be the Horus heresy bikes. I just like the sleek look of them. And I hate the look of the 40K bikes. I don't like them at all.
Because they look like regular bikes?
Yeah, like the ones from like Forge World look way better, in my opinion. And in the air, Drop pod? Does that count?
I was going to say drop pod for both.
Yeah, it's a land and air.
Yeah, I really like the drop pods. They look badass.
They're not that good in this edition, though, from what I hear.
Oh, no. I'm playing drop pods.
Oh, you're not playing orcs today?
No. Well, I'll see. It depends on how much time we have. This question is from T Swims 92. How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood in the warp?
Oh, dang. He added that twist to it.
But the answer's still the same. 0, because a woodchuck does not chuck wood. Also, do you think that 40K will ever get an Age of Sigmar like GW did to Warhammer Fantasy? Nope.
No.
Well, I shouldn't say like never, because who knows, maybe when we're dead. But eventually, or the reason that they did the refresher is because Fantasy wasn't doing great. And I think Space Marines and like the whole Primera stuff made Warhammer 40K like special, and they want to play it again. So eventually, I don't think that we're going to have an entire reboot. At least not in our lifetime.
Warhammer 50K.
Yeah.
Coming in 300 years.
And this is the last question, right? Yeah, because we did the thing. Okay. I'll be damned. Could a blink nullify WAAAGH energy the same way as the warp?
WAAAGH energy is different than warp energy.
Yeah, it's more biological and it's really about probability. So no. Yeah. Well, no, because in the tabletop, a blink can affect.
But the tabletop's different than the lore, though.
That's true. No, but that wouldn't make sense, right? Like, why would GW do that to a blink or an orc psyker or a warpad or whatever if it's not what is in the lore? Is there anything like that? Like something that we know for sure happens in the lore but doesn't happen in the tabletop? Or vice versa, like something that doesn't happen in the tabletop but that does happen in the lore? Other than that, I think that's it.
I mean, there's always the probability of it happening, but I can't think of anything not. Like, even a Gretchen could kill a Primarch. Yeah. Like, if the Gretchen was imbued with, like, a super powerful virus that Nurgle himself gifted to that Gretchen to kill that specific Primarch. It could happen, but most likely it won't.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. If you guys can think of something, let us know.
And those are the questions for today. Thank you for sending those questions our way. Comment down below with more questions. We love answering them. Don't forget, we have a Patreon. A simple $1 a month helps us create more videos for you guys. And yeah, Scourge One.
Sound Alchemist, and we are out.
Always used to put my freedom first.